In this video, we will discuss another looping technique known as the while loop. Everything we did using Java for loops in the previous video lectures can be done using while loops. Watch the video till the end for a detailed explanation on while loops, a comparison between Java for loops and while loops, and a coding example to explain how while loops work. Hi, I'm Dr. Monika Akbar. I'm explaining Java while loops today. A Java while loop has this structure. In the while loop structure, you have a condition to control the repetition of the loop. As long as this condition is true, the execution will keep going inside the while loop and run the code block again and again. Inside the code block, you can write something that will make the condition false after some number of iterations. Let us compare the while loop structure with the for loop structure. Let us quickly write the for loop structure. We have initialization, condition, and a change to control the for loop. In the while loop, we are missing the initialization and the change. We have the condition part only. In an ideal looping along the basic while loop structure, we will need to include initialization and the change part, this way. Let us discuss this using an easy to solve problem. Let us assume that the problem is to print all the numbers between 1 and 10 separated by spaces. We can quickly write a for loop in which we use an integer variable I to control the loop. In the initialization, I is equal to 1. The condition is that I is smaller than or equal to 10. That means as long as the variable I remains within the range of 1 to 10, the loop will keep repeating. At the end of each iteration, I will increment by 1 as stated by the third part of the for syntax. We print the variable I inside the code. We put a space after I so that on the terminal, a gap is created between the current value of I and the next one. Please save the file, compile it, and run the generated class file. All the integer numbers from 1 to 10 are printed on the terminal. To make sure that there is no confusion, this part containing my computer is my command prompt. The text my computer is not an outcome of the program we have written. Now we will use a while loop instead of the for loop to do the same task, that is printing the numbers from 1 to 10. Notice that there are some structural differences between a for loop and a while loop. The basic while loop only has the condition part for which the iteration will go inside. We will include the initialization part outside the while loop and the change part inside the code block of the while loop. Let us skip the line that contains system.out.print and delete the for structure. Let us write the while statement. In parentheses, we will write the condition for which the system.out.print statement will be executed. If the condition is true, everything inside the curly brackets will be executed. For the initialization of I, let us write I equals 1 before the while statement. After printing the current value of I, we do not want I to retain the same value because we want to print the next number in the next iteration. Therefore, we will change I to the next number. To do that, we write I equals I plus 1 right after where the current value of I is printed using the system.out.print statement. Note that after this code segment executes, a number is printed and the value of I becomes 1 more than the number that was printed. This line I equals I plus 1 is responsible for the increment of I. Now notice that the initialization is I equals 1. The loop will iterate and at the end of the iteration, the value of I will increase. We need to write a condition within the parentheses of the while statement. The condition should be such that the execution goes inside when the value of I is smaller than or equal to 10. The condition is exactly the same one we had in the for loop. This newly written code is an alternative of the code we wrote using a for loop. The output of the code should be the same as before. Let us save the file, compile the code, and execute the generated class file. Notice that we have exactly the same output where we have all the 10 numbers starting from 1 and ending with 10. The numbers are separated by spaces. Let us do a side-by-side comparison of the for loop and the while loop. The initialization of the for loop is a part of the structure of the for loop. In the while loop, we wrote an initialization of the control variable outside the while loop. The condition is a part of the for loop. The condition is a part of the basic while loop too. The increment operation is a part of the for structure. The increment operation was not part of the basic while structure. However, we can incorporate the increment or the change operation inside the code block of the while loop. In reality, the for loop and the while loop can do the same thing. We already learned nested for loops in the previous video. Similar to nested for loops, you can write nested while loops. You can even write one while loop inside a for loop, or even one for loop inside a while loop. The summary is, you can replace a for loop by a while loop and vice versa. I hope the concept of while loop is clear to you. Please let us know if you have any question through the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed to our website computingforall.com and to the YouTube channel where this video is hosted, please do so to receive notification on our new articles and video lectures. We wish you become successful in learning to code. Again, please do not hesitate to contact us via the comment section below if you have any question or even to introduce yourself. See you soon in another video.